Good morning, everyone. We can go on the record.
Judge, can I please get your name for the record?
Jennifer Grace.
Thank you.
No problem. Good morning, everyone. Today is March 15th, 2022. It's now 11 o'clock a.m. We're here in Maryland Public Service Commission case number 9506P, which is stylized in the matter of the continuing investigation of the electric fuel and power cost adjustment charges of Thurmont Municipal Light Company. We can start with appearances. For Thurmont? Oh,
Yeah, it seems that Tom hasn't been able to connect yet. Tom Rudabush. This is Chris Sims.
I thought I saw his name on here earlier, which is why I started. So, okay, we can go off the record and wait, and I'll send another invite to Mr. Rudabush.
Okay,
If everyone will just hold on just a moment.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm finally on.
No worries. We can go back on the record.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. It turns out I forwarded my invitation to my witness, but apparently it won't work for him. So if I could just ask you to send him, it's Mark Riley.
Sure.
Also a link. Whatever he needs to get to be able to appear.
Okay, let's start again. Mr. Court Reporter, can we go on the record?
Yes, we can. This fellow, Tom, can I get his last name, please?
Okay, it's Rudebush. It's Rudebusch. He's the attorney for the company for Thurmont.
Thank you.
Okay, are we on the record?
We're on the record.
Great. Good morning, everyone. Today is March 15th, 2022. It's now 11:07 a.m. We're here for Maryland Public Service Commission case number 9506P, which is stylized in the matter of the continuing investigation of the electric fuel and power cost adjustment charges of Thurmont Municipal Light Company. We're going to start with appearances with Mr. Rudebush.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Tom Rudebush of Duncan, Weinberg, Genzer, and Pembroke, appearing on behalf of the town of Thurmont and its municipal light company.
Good morning. Office of People's Counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Sammartino for Office of People's Counsel.
Good morning. And staff?
Morning, Your Honor. Annette Garofalo on behalf of Commission staff.
Welcome, everybody. Okay, let's start with the company. Do you have any, I guess, evidence that you want to put into the record, and do you want to call your first witness?
Your Honor, I would like to have marked as Exhibit T-1 the certificate of publication notice of the hearing, which was filed on February 23rd, mail log number 239298. These all received that. I can circulate it again by email if that's necessary, but otherwise I'd like to offer Exhibit T1 into evidence, Your Honor.
Okay, Exhibit T1 is, I'm going to say Thurmont Exhibit 1 is marked. Is there any objection to its admittance at this time? Hearing none, Thurmont Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Your Honor, I have no witnesses to call.
Okay. Did you want to mark your other filing, the letter from Mr. Sims and the additional pages, or no?
Your Honor, I was planning on covering that and cross of the staff's witness.
Okay.
Thank you.
Office of People's Counsel, do you have any witnesses or any exhibits that you want to mark?
No witnesses or exhibits, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll ask you at this time, do you, I guess I can ask you later. Okay. And staff, do you have any exhibits to mark, or do you have a witness to call?
Yes, Your Honor. Staff would like to call Mark Riley.
Mr. Riley, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
I do.
Okay. Your witness, Ms. Garofalo.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I think I'm not sure if I need to attest that the witnesses in a room without access to any other individuals in this case, but he is.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Riley.
Good morning.
Mr. Riley, do you have with you a document entitled Direct Testimony of Mark Riley dated March 11th and a set of exhibits which were filed on March 14th but were intended to be part of the testimony?
I do.
And was this document prepared by you or under your supervision?
Yes.
Do you have any changes or corrections you would like to make at this time? I think you might be on mute. Do you have any changes or corrections you would like to make at this time?
I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Mr. Riley, if I can, because you are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So if you were So you had, the answer was no, you had no changes, correct?
That's correct. I have no changes.
So if you were asked the same questions contained in your testimony today, would your answers be the same?
Yes,
And do you adopt this document as your sworn testimony in this proceeding?
yes,
Your Honor, I would ask that the direct testimony of Mark Riley together with its exhibits be marked for identification as Staff Exhibit 1.
Staff Exhibit 1 is marked.
And I would ask that that be admitted into evidence subject to cross-examination.
Let me ask a question first. I believe it was in the same filing, there were 2 data requests that were responses from Thurmont that were issued by staff. Do you want those included in this exhibit or not?
Yes, I would like them included.
Okay, so
Would you
staff
like me to give them a different number?
no. I
Okay.
was just asking. So staff exhibit 1 with the attachment A, the Mr. Riley's CV, and attachment, we'll say 2, staff data requests number 1 and 2 are marked as staff exhibit 1. Is there any objection to their admittance at this time?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Staff exhibit 1 is admitted into the administrative record.
Thank you, Your Honor. The witness is available for cross-examination.
Mr. Rudabush.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Riley, my name is Tom Rudabush on behalf of Thurmont. Could you turn to page 4 of your testimony, please?
Page what?
Page 4. And at the bottom of page 4, you say that you've reviewed the supporting documentation that was filed on February 23rd. Do you see that in your testimony?
Yes,
And did you review the information that was provided by the company at that time?
could you repeat the question?
And have you reviewed the information that the company provided in that filing?
Yes,
And do you agree with those calculations, Mr. Riley?
yes, I do.
And this filing contained several work papers that were labeled CSS1, CSS2, and CSS3. Does that comport with your recollection, Mr. Riley?
Yes,
And those are the calculations that you say the staff agrees with?
yes,
Your Honor, I guess I would like to have marked for identification as Thurmont exhibits 2, 3, and 4. The work papers labeled as CSS1, CSS2, and CSS3.
Your Honor, just a mild objection. The witness who prepared these is here, and I would just object to my witness who says he agrees with them, but to sponsoring those papers.
Your objection's overruled. Are there any other objections to Thurmont exhibits 2, 3, and 4?
None from OPC, Your Honor.
Thurmont exhibits 2, 3, and 4 are admitted. Marked and admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Mr. Sammartino.
And
OPC has no questions on cross, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Riley, there were 2 data requests from staff and responses that were submitted along with your testimony. Are you familiar with staff data request number 1? Oh, I guess it's 2 questions, 1-2 and 1-4.
that's correct. 1-2 and 1-4.
Okay, and staff is not offering a witness to testify as to the energy procurement practices in this iteration of the hearings. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. Mr. Riley may not know the answer.
Okay. Mr. Riley, did you review the response, the data requests 1-2 and 1-4 have to do with energy procurement practices? Did you review those documents, and can you make a statement regarding whether Thurmont has appeared to have followed competitive practices and the resulting energy procurement practices resulted in prices that appear to be competitive?
I didn't do that as part of my review.
Okay. All right. Thurmont seems to indicate that the current contract that it has entered into with Energy Harbor, previously First Energy Solutions, is in its 9th iteration. Is that correct?
I didn't review that. All I know is I reviewed the response, and last year the contract was through May 31st, 2024, and this year the contract is through May 31st, 2024.
Okay, directing your attention to staff data request 1-2, the first paragraph of the response indicates that the current supply contract was amended twice during the period under review, and that Amendment 9 was signed in January of 2022. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. The average monthly residential electric customer this year is said to use 1,326 kilowatt hours per month. Is that correct?
Correct. That was my calculation. Yes.
Okay. And okay, I have no further questions. Does anyone else have any questions based on mine?
None from OPC.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Staff has no questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Riley, for your testimony this morning. Is there anything else from staff?
Staff has no further witnesses.
Okay. Mr. Sammartino, the Office of People's Counsel, does the Office of People's Counsel have a position on the testimony provided by Thurmont and staff that proposed PCA factor of 0.05407 per kilowatt hours should be charged for the next calendar period?
Yes, Your Honor. OPC's position is that we don't see any objectionable any issues with it. We agree. I think it's reasonably calculated. So we support it, I suppose.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything else that we need to take up at this time?
I do not, Your Honor. Thank you.
Staff has nothing, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, everyone. This concludes the hearing for 2022. See you next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
We can go off the record.